Good evening. Frank Whitfield here, candidate for mayor for the city of Elyria. I wanted to create this video to walk you through my economic strategy for the city of Elyria, what I hope to do if I'm elected this November 5th, 2019. So let's jump right in. So we call this Economic Transformation Plan 2025 by 2025, and it's a plan to transform Elyria's economy by that year. And it's through a three-part strategy of build, attract, and grow. And so we call it BAG, and getting in our bag together. And I'm going to walk you through how I came to this conclusion and also how I believe we can move forward. So my overall assessment of the economy, and this is not just based upon ancillary data, this is based upon my experiences working and living in Elyria my entire life, but also being involved in economic development through my role at the Urban League, through my role at the North Family Foundation, through being involved in workforce development, being involved in economic development in other regions and seeing what's going on in other regions plays a huge role in my perception of our economy here in the city. And so my assessment is that really our economy is underperforming, it's monolithic, it's disconnected, but it's rich with opportunities. And I want to walk through each of those. So the underperforming aspect, I'm comparing us to our neighbors. So Avon over the past 9 years has increased 8,000 jobs, and this comes from their annual report. And it shows the data on 2018. They have an estimated employment of 20,000 jobs in the city. And back in 2009, they only had 12,000 jobs total in their city. That compared to Elyria, we've decreased 4,000 during that same period. So in 2018, we had 25,000 jobs in the city. And in 2009, we had 29,000 jobs in the city. And you can see some of those major employers, a lot of them have been the same. So you see the community college, you see university hospitals. Back then it was EMH, the county government, us being the county seat, they're a huge employer. So those are a lot of the public sort of employers. But when you get down to our private employers, Ridge Tool, Bendix, Invacare, unfortunately we're losing Bendix, and they'll be leaving the city. And so you look through this and you can be able to see, this is actually on our annual report. This data is available annually, but you can see again, we've decreased 4,000 jobs at the same time our neighboring city has increased 8,000 jobs. So this whole idea of the economy booming, I'm not sure where that's coming from, but I'm hoping that we can really get to that place of economic growth. The other place I see us underperforming is as our role as a host. So not only are we the host to, trying to move this, you can see, are we the host to the county government, which includes the Justice Center, the county administration building. As we saw on the last slide, they're one of our major employers in the city, but they also attract over 10,000 people downtown Elyria Monday through Friday. So that's a great opportunity for us to leverage and be able to convert those visitors into customers of some sort of business. We're also host to the best community college in the country. And so how can we be leveraging that to attract talent to our city, to incentivize those students to stay here, to leverage the access we have to the community college? And then the last piece is we have one of the most accessible hubs in the region with Midway Mall. And we've all seen the decline of Midway Mall, but it still has this great opportunity of 80 and 90, this intersection there. You don't get two of those in this region, and we really need to capitalize on it. So the whole thing around being monolithic, we have a great manufacturing legacy in Elyria, but we also have other legacies, including our healthcare legacy, being the host to the hospital for the UH system in this area. And I believe we could start to create a new legacy going after this 21st century economy. So I showed a picture here of the MEM Center at the college. And I think we can start to think about how we can be proactive as opposed to reactive in terms of developing our economy. How do we get on the front end of some of the IT and technological developments, this experience economy? How can we get on the front end of those things so that Elyria can be seen as a city for innovation and for growth through the next wave of the economy? The last piece is that we're rich with time-sensitive opportunities. We have some very unique opportunities with all new schools being built, new libraries being built. We have an opportunity to leverage that and build a vision around that, aligning these institutions together, our schools, our libraries, our community partners, and aligning those. We have a unique economic opportunity to try to get Elyrians on those construction sites, get our local companies on those construction sites. That's something I was fighting for when I was at the Urban League. We got the schools to buy into the concept. It was something I really pushed and asked for the current administration to get on board with and help. Didn't get any support on that. But when I'm mayor, we're going to try to make sure we take advantage of this unique time-sensitive opportunity we have around construction. It's an opportunity to get folks in the trades. But again, these are time-limited opportunities. These opportunities will not be here 4 years from now. So the time is now. And I think it's important that you consider that as you think about electing a mayor who will seize these opportunities, not only these short-term opportunities with the construction and bringing us together to create a vision with our anchor institutions, but even long-term, as we think about the schools and the library, we think about the historical needs of our city, whether it's addressing poverty or addressing economic growth, opportunities for our youth and our seniors. With the building of all these new schools and libraries, we have an opportunity to align maybe even our hospital system and our Metro Park system and other community partners to really dream and reimagine our city and develop a vision that moves the needle for Elyrians, that really improves the quality of life for all Elyrians. And I believe with me, if you vote Whitfield, we're going to seize these opportunities. And not only seize these opportunities, we're going to create new ones. And I want to jump now into the meat of this economic transformation plan, which I would say it's more of a strategy, and I'll jump right in. So the first thing, the B, is around building. So building a city for entrepreneurs. That includes creating a small business and entrepreneurship culture in the city, having that spirit of entrepreneurism where we support entrepreneurs and encourage entrepreneurship. That comes in the form of having resources available like an accelerator or an incubator, so businesses have the support they need when they have an idea. That means pitch competitions. That means having access to capital. There's funds like this that I've been a part of in Cleveland where we've developed capital access funds where our entrepreneurs may not be qualified for traditional lending from traditional lenders, but they can go to this capital access fund and be able to access capital to be able to start their business or scale their business. The second piece of that cultural shift around entrepreneurship is programming for youth, really building the spirit of entrepreneurship in our young people. I did that when I was at the Urban League. We hosted an entrepreneurship camp. I partnered with another community organization, Elyria, this summer, and we hosted the Lemonade Stand Challenge, and young people, again, learning about the ideas of entrepreneurship, because they'll be our next wave of businesses. If you think about every one of the major companies that is around today that we have was started by some entrepreneurs. So we need to cultivate that in the city. And I'm looking forward to leveraging the existing relationships I have with organizations like Jumpstart, the Small Business Development Center, the Chamber of Commerce, and other economic development organizations, really leveraging the relationships I already have to move this ball forward. The second is around attracting employers through upskilling Elyrians. So, 70% of Elyrians have nothing more than a high school diploma. And we know in this economy, you're going to have some sort of post-secondary credential. It doesn't have to be necessarily a bachelor's degree, but it needs to be some sort of post-secondary credential in order to be competitive in this market. And also, that's what employers are looking for. I shared during many forums that I've had conversations with one of the largest employers in the country around coming to our city and developing jobs and developing opportunities here. One of the first questions was about the skills of our workforce, because they look at that data. So I've committed to creating a Skilled City Scholarship for us to become the most skilled city in this region. And this scholarship will sponsor any Elyria resident that wants to get a 21st century in-demand skill. So that includes CNC machining, healthcare, different industries, medical coding, phlebotomy. There's a list of these in-demand 21st century skills that are needed, that are needed by employers, but also can move you toward a living wage. And, those are the type of jobs I want to move Elyrians into. And I believe we can market that market Elyria nationally and regionally as being the most skilled city in this region. So when we're talking to potential employers and companies, we're saying, hey, if you want to come to a community that's ready, come to Elyria. We're a work-ready community. When you come here, we're ready to hit the ground running and help you grow your company because we got folks with the skills that are ready. And the last piece to pull this off is just going to be critical to work in partnership with our community college and our vocational school to help administer the Skill City program and make sure that we leverage programs that already exist with those institutions so that we're not replicating or duplicating. And then the last piece is around growing our current businesses. You know, I spent about 80% of my time early on in this campaign just talking to small businesses. And for many of them, they were saying this was the first time anybody from the city had come and visited them. I wasn't officially a part of the city, but they were just happy to see somebody who was running for mayor coming and visiting their business and talking with them about their needs. And so a part of the strategy, I want to make sure that we elevate their voice in the city, and doing that through forming this economic or business advisory council. It will consist of larger employers and smaller employers that would advise my administration as well as city council on the needs that they have and partner them with other resources. So a lot of the things I heard, some of them around were similar to what we talked about before around access to capital, access to workforce. You know, we would make sure we partner them with and provide the connection to the resources they need in order to be able to grow in Elyria. And then I would like to have it where they report out regularly, whether it's quarterly, monthly, to city council to share, hey, our council met and here's what the needs that we're seeing in our business community, to really elevate their voice. Because I believe if they have an ownership in the city, they'll be more likely to stay here, want to grow here, and feel like they're a part of it. So I believe by doing that, we will transform this economy. We'll attract young families to our city. We'll attract employers to our city. We'll move families out of poverty, and there'll be opportunities for all. And that's why I'm asking for your vote. You know, I've been in Elyria my entire life. I've lived here my entire life. I'm raising my family here. I got 3 daughters, one in college, that I'm hoping we built the type of economy that after she graduates from college, she wants to be a doctor, that there's opportunities here for us. I want to leverage not only my master's degree in business, but I want to leverage the connections I've got through Case Western, getting my master's, to bring that institutional knowledge to our city and help us build this economy. I want to use my experience in working with small businesses to help them create jobs, that experience I already have through my work at the Urban League and at North Family, and then just being a social entrepreneur myself, and, you know, build up on my track record of forming these collaborative partnerships. I've done this throughout my career, and I want to bring that to the city. And I've proven that leadership at the Urban League, at Lorain County Community College, as a leader of my Rotary Club. And, you know, when I sat on the Children's Services Board, moved Lorain County, you know, where I've gone, I've ended up becoming the leader because I serve, I'm courageous, I have vision, and I want to bring that to the city of Elyria. So I hope that you see the value as well, and I hope you will vote for me this November 5th as your mayor for the city of Elyria. Thank you. God bless.